The night she walked out is burned into my memory, a pain that never fades. It was raining, predictable, I know, and she didn't even wait for the kids to fall asleep. She stood in the living room, suitcase in hand, eyes distant. Our youngest, Daniel, clutched her leg, tears running down his cheeks. "Mommy, where are you going?" he asked. She didn't answer him. Instead, she looked at me and said, "I can't do this anymore. I need to live my truth." That truth, apparently, was a man named Eric from her yoga class. She left that night without looking back. No goodbyes, no remorse, only the click of the door shutting behind her. I stood frozen, holding the fragments of the family we once were. I had to pull myself together fast. 3 kids, no warning, no mother, just me, and the harsh reality that the woman I loved had chosen someone else. The first year was hell. Rachel, our oldest, stopped speaking for months. Jake, only 10, got into fights at school. Daniel cried himself to sleep countless nights. And me? I juggled 2 jobs, packed lunches, braided hair, helped with homework, cried in the shower, and forced a smile every day. People whispered, some blamed me, others judged, but no one truly understood. No one saw how hard I fought to keep our home intact while the woman who was supposed to be my partner lived a different life. She never called, never sent a card, not a word, not even child support. It was as if we had been erased from her story, but I refused to let her absence define us. I raised my children with love, discipline, and honesty. I taught them the truth without filling their hearts with hate. They grew into remarkable people. Rachel became a nurse, Jake opened a mechanic shop, and Daniel, gentle Daniel, joined the army. I was proud. We had built a life without her. Then, 21 years later, I opened the door and saw her, gray hair, tired eyes, suitcase in hand, just like before. My first reaction wasn't anger. It was confusion. I asked, coldly, "Why now?" She didn't respond, just stayed as though I had disappeared. "I made a mistake," she whispered finally, voice trembling. "Years ago, I would have begged for that sorrow. Then, I felt nothing but stillness. The kids were grown, my life stable, and here she was, expecting a welcome like no time had passed. "Eric died 3 months ago," she said, hand shaking. "I've been alone since. I thought we could talk." I didn't move, didn't widen the door. I just looked at her lines, the shadows under her eyes, and thought of every moment she missed, every scraped knee, every birthday, every graduation. Rachel was furious when I told her. "She doesn't get to come back after 21 years, she said. Jake barely muttered. "She's bold. I'll give her that." Daniel, ever the peacemaker, asked simply, "Are you okay, Dad?" None of them wanted her. None asked where she'd been. We had all moved on. "I want to reconnect with them," she said, standing in the yard like she hadn't detonated our lives decades ago. "I want to make amends." I laughed, not in amusement, but at her audacity. "You don't get to want things now. You gave up that right." Still, I didn't slam the door. I offered tea, and she spoke of her life's collapse with Eric, the freedom she thought she wanted that became a prison, how she longed for the kids. I listened. Nothing changed. "They're not your kids anymore," I told her. The following days were quiet, but not peaceful. Rachel texted again. She better not come near us. Jake didn't bother with civility. Daniel called as usual, saying gently, "You did everything, Dad. She doesn't belong in our story." And he was right. I remembered every school event alone, every night comforting Rachel, every year Jake withdrew. Regret isn't a key. It doesn't open doors. It only reminds you of doors you've slammed. One afternoon, she left a letter on the porch. No knock, no conversation, just an envelope under the mat. Inside was a photo of us years ago, before the betrayal. On the back, "I'm sorry for everything. I don't deserve forgiveness. I just wanted to say goodbye properly this time." I stated it, Not because I missed her, but because I didn't. That version of her died when she chose someone else. The woman at my door now was a stranger, and I owed her nothing. A month later, Daniel and I grilled steaks in the backyard. Grandkids ran through sprinklers, laughter filling the air. Rachel and her husband were on their way. Jake had texted, "Don't start the beer without me." Surrounded by the family I raised, the family she abandoned, I felt peace, not after a storm, but from surviving one. She may have walked away, but I walked forward, and I never looked back.